Hello?
Hey, is that Mike?
Hello?
Hi.
Yeah. All right, mate?
Hey, mate. It's, yeah, good. It's, Levi calling from Sticks to Stones in Brisbane, Australia. Yeah, how you going, man?
Oh, cool. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah. Good. How are you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, you ready to start answering some questions?
Yeah, I can do questions, mate, yeah.
Oh, cool. So, firstly, I'll just talk about the tour. You're coming down to Australia in May with the Contortionists, or also a great prog act. Love their stuff too. Are you looking forward to the tour, and have you toured with these guys before?
Now, yeah, I'm really looking forward to the tour. Yeah, I'm looking to the tour forward to the tour mostly because it's Australia, and I've never been to Australia, not even on holiday or anything, and only one of our band has ever actually been to Australia on holiday. So for all of us, it's amazing to be able to be asked to come to a place like Australia and tour. That's just a great honour, you know what I mean? And it's always been one of the top places on my list to ever even visit, let alone play, you know what I mean? So it's a trip. So, but with the Contortionists, they actually came to a show in, where was it? I think it was somewhere near Chicago or something like that.
Yeah.
And they all came to our show. Yeah, it was a trip. They came to our headline show, but we were touring with Periphery, and we had a headline show on a kind of a day off, and yeah, it was a trip that they all came. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
I also am again in England. Was that?
Oh, no, sorry. Finish up. I'll wait a second for my next
Oh,
question.
I also seen them again in England. Yeah, that was it.
Oh, yep. You know, it's
It's like,
funny. I've kind of listened to you guys from the very start. I remember when I was really young in high school, I had a friend that had like a whole mountain of these burnt CDs, and he had a lot of bands that no one had ever heard of, and he's like, "Oh, you got to check this out. This band's this," and like no one was really doing that really crazy prog kind of experimental stuff back then. So when I heard it back then, I thought, "Wow, I've never heard anything like this before." It was crazy. So yeah, I loved the first album and been listening to you guys for a while. So I thought that was a cool story.
oh, that is cool. Yeah, I like that. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good to hear all these stories. It's a trip because you don't know it, when you're in a band. You just don't realise that these things are happening. And these people in Australia or Nepal or America or wherever, do you know what I mean? Are listening to your tunes. Trip. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I hope you don't mind that he burnt your CD, and I think I might have burnt a couple of copies for friends too, but oh well, that's how we used to spread it back in the days.
Yeah, a lot of people did do that. It's good that, I'd rather, I don't know, I don't want to say any more. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is I'm pleased he's come. I'm sure some people who burnt CDs have gone and bought tickets, so it's great.
Yeah, no, I'm a big
Things like that.
collector of vinyl
Some
and
people
stuff
would.
now, so I still purchase a lot of music.
We've all burnt CDs before, of course. And then
Yeah.
if you really like something, oh gosh, you think I'll go and get that? Like I've had CDs, I've burnt CDs for so long, or something on my MP3 player, and I'm like, I'm gonna get that. That's awesome. I want to own that. So yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
cool man. That's cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for helping.
Yeah, no worries. One song I wanted to talk about on the new album is Cracks of Light. I really dug that one, but it also features Spencer Satella from Periphery. How did that collaboration come about?
Well, when we were on a talk, Spencer and me were talking a lot about possible collaboration and stuff like that, and I just said, look, mate, when are you coming over next? And what you doing? And he was like, well, I'm in Germany. I was like, yeah, well, why don't you come over and guest on the album? We flew him over and he guested on the album. Simple as that. It was really cool because I get on really well with him. And other guys in Periphery, they actually asked me to go and I sang on stage with them when they were in London. So it's really cool. I really, really like them very much. Such a nice bunch of people for Periphery.
Yeah. And when you do like a collaboration, do you write all their parts and the vocal melody, or do you let them kind of have a bit of input with the lyrics and, the melody and that kind of thing?
I think it was like, I wrote most of it, if not all of it, and then Spencer kind of, I think he might have done added a little twist to it. I'm not entirely sure, but I think, I wrote everything on this last album, so yeah, I think it was pretty much, Spencer just came in, rocked in, and kind of did his thing. But usually Spencer, I think, has complete control. And like, you know, if it was the other way around, I'd go and like do whatever Spencer told me to do. You know, if it was on a periphery thing, if that's what he would. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. He's got a way of singing which is great, and it really, really complements our sound. So yeah.
Yes, sure. Now on the tour, are you going to be playing mostly songs from the new album, or are we going to hear like a mix of all 4 albums because you haven't been to Australia before?
Yeah, mix of 4. A mix of 4. Yeah. Yeah, you'll hear Opacities, which is my personal favourite, and then Future in Whose Eyes, and yeah, the first 2 as well.
Yeah, cool stuff. I'm definitely looking forward to it. It'll be at the show. You used to do vocal coaching as... Oh, yeah, I'll get the Brisbane show.
Oh, cool. Vocal coaching?
Yeah, it says on Wikipedia you do vocal coaching. Is that something you still do? Or is Wikipedia wrong?
Fucking hell. Wikipedia is
vocal
mental. Well, actually, I am. I laugh at that. I laughed at myself. Yeah, I actually am, but I'm only a vocal coach once a year. I go to this college, and then they go, "How do you scream?" And I'll say, "All right, well, I teach them through this thing, and it takes them about an hour and a half, and I get all these people to be screaming and stuff." And that's all the vocal coaching I've done. But that should be on vocal. I don't know why that's on the social media. That's crazy. I mean, not social Wikipedia. So. Yeah, I do a bit of that, but my main thing is I'm a vocal producer and a vocal. What's it called? A vocal. What's this? Sorry, I'm asking you what a thing I've been doing for the last 5 or 6 months.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Voiceover. Voiceover.
Oh,
voiceover artist. I'm a voiceover artist now. That's my main thing. And so I'm doing a voiceover artist, voiceover casting, and voiceover production. That's what I've been doing today. I'm doing it tomorrow, do it the next day, go to all these studios, working with really some really cool artists around the place, from some massive bands who are like kind of pop. I'm not allowed to mention them yet, but they're from like pop bands and melancholic bands, and one of the American bands we've toured with in America, which I won't mention because I'm still not allowed to mention everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of it. It's called Disco Elysium, and I've been working on that. And that's my main thing I've been doing, and I love that. I absolutely love it because you go in all these different worlds, and someone else has written the script, and so you can kind of delve into these characters. It's a lot of fun to do, man. It's a trip.
Yeah, I always feel with your music as well as like a real theatrical element too. Was that kind of, how did you end up bringing that sort of to the table?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of naturally for me to go into theatrical because you can go into different worlds and explore that, and I like to do that. Go into fantasy worlds. It's a great way of escapism. I find is drifting into different places and making magical worlds up within your. Or even they can be dark worlds as well within your music, you know what I mean? And like getting your point across in a different way, or trying to explain a metaphor of something that is close to you, and you want to like explain it in a different way. You can delve into like fantasy worlds, but explain your point through that way. You know what I mean? Through that fantasy world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. That definitely works for you.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk about, you've got a side project called Primal Rock Rebellion, and it features Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden, you know, one of the biggest guitarists of all time. How did you end up meeting him, and how did that project come about?
Well, I met him because my mate was walking along the road and met this woman, and then she said, I really like your shorts. And he had some cool shorts. They were like Machine Head, and then he had a Black Sabbath t-shirt. Might have been the other way around. No, I think it was that way around. And then basically he what happened? Fucking hell, sorry man, I'm getting about 1,000 these WhatsApp messages. Ding 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 ding.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah, sorry about that. Right, I'll tell you the story. Okay, so yeah, so basically she said, "Oh, would you like to meet my son?" And then he was like, "Well, if anything strange happens, she's really hot, so I'll just go along with it. I'll just go
Oh,
along.
yeah.
And so he went along with it, and it turned out that she did have a son, and then she said, so what do you do? Like, because she wanted her son to meet people into rock music, because he was really into rock and he didn't have any friends into rock, you know.
Mm.
And so that's why. And so then it turned out she was like, what do you do? What do you do with yourselves? And they said, well, we're in a band. And now this guy who she brought back to her, he was my drummer in my old band, right? And then and anyway. So eventually we started getting invited because she turned out to be Adrian Smith's wife's best friend. Huh. So we started getting invited to all of Adrian's parties and that. They barbecues and gatherings and that. And she was like, oh, these guys would really love to meet you, Adrian, and all this. So I started going to these things and, now and again, I'm talking about once a year or something like that. But then one day, it turned out Dylan, who is, I shouldn't say his name. Adrian's son was really into our music. And so we got asked to play his 16th birthday party. We played the 16th birthday party around Adrian's house. And then Adrian said, do you know what? Would you like, he rang me up and said, you've got a voice like sounds like no one else. Like, I'd really like to jam, because he said, like, you can't buy that, you can't train that, you just have a different sounding voice. So yeah, it's pretty cool, and that's how it went. And
do you think you'll play
6
again?
years later, album. I'd love to do something again with Adrian, because he's an absolute genius, and he's really, really pleasurable to work with. He's one of the nicest people you can meet. He's like, you forget he's in a band. You forget, like you said, he's one of the biggest rock bands ever, and it is one of the biggest and great, one of the biggest rock bands ever. And it's as if he's not in a band when you meet him and you're hanging around with him for a little while. He just wants to talk to me and him, talk about football more than we talk about music. And he goes fishing and he talks about football, and he's chilled.
Funny how a lot of those huge guys don't have much ego, because I was lucky enough to meet Rob Halford a few years ago, and I just couldn't believe how polite and down to earth he was. So that was really cool.
The thing is, there's no need for it. You see, there's no need for all the attitude and that, because now they've got to such a level, and they're cool, and they're like justified with it. They don't need anything else like that. You know what I mean? You often find a lot of the smaller ones are a lot worse. Changes them a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only bad interview I ever did was with a band that had been around 6 months and were kind of big on radio, and they're just pretty rude to me. And I was like, oh, well, they're probably back to working at McDonald's now, so that's what you get.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck them. So I hope recorded, like to be on a radio show or something. So yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't know how much time I got left in this interview, so I'll just ask a couple more questions. You've toured with some pretty big bands over the years, Machine Head, Anthrax, Killswitch Engage. Do you have like a favourite tour buddies, favourite bands to, jam with and, do stuff with on the road?
Periphery, without Periphery and Tooth Grinder are our favourite bands to tour with.
Yeah.
Such friendly guys. Tooth Grinder, they are just absolute dudes. They took us out in, they took us to their hometown and put us up, in New Jersey and stuff, and they were just couldn't be friendlier. And you could say the same for Periphery. They just made us all feel at home and everything. And I had Mark over recently from Periphery. He was over doing voice stuff. I've said too much on it, but yeah, it was great. And Spencer obviously came over, and yeah. Those two bands there, that's the best tour we've ever done for Vibe, and Periphery said it was the most friendly tour and the best tour they've ever done, and all that kind of thing. So that was great. Yeah, definitely them, without doubt.
Yeah. I'll just ask one more question. You guys kind of broke up for a couple of years, and you've been reformed for quite a while now. Does everyone in the band still get along really well, and did you kind of patch up everything that happened years ago?
Well, we got on a lot better for the first year or so, 2 years. It can get a bit heated now and again, but we get on better than we used to. But obviously, being a bunch of different characters that we're all so different in this band. It's unbelievable. you're talking to me, and you could be talking to another person. It'd be like you'll have a complete different conversation.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we're from different places entirely, you know. So yeah, everyone's so different, and everyone's so you know, and everyone's got such a big opinion on how things should be, and everyone's also got contrasting opinions of how things should be. So it can be really hard, but it's also like, it can also be a lot of fun. And you can go to Australia, Nepal, America, and all this stuff. So you've got to like, and also people are waiting to hear your tunes. So that's a big thing, man. That's a massive thing. So it's a great, you know, it's an honor to play to fans who want to come and see your music, you know what I mean? Because I know, like, the older you get, you can't be asked going out so much, you know what I mean? You can't, like, it's a big effort to go here, to go there, and all that. So you got to appreciate that, you know what I mean? And I do, and we do, you know what I mean? So yeah, you kind of like have to put your differences aside quite a lot, you know what I mean? And kind of like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, well, I definitely appreciate you taking your time out today, and appreciate you coming down to Australia in May, because I'm going to, definitely looking forward to the show. I'll be headbanging up the front and also taking some photos, so I'll be putting those on the website, Instagram and stuff, if you want a copy of any of those.
Yeah. Oh, well, let me know, please, mate. Yeah. I'd like to see him and everything. What camera are you using?
I got a new one. It's Sony... Oh, I can't even remember the name, but it's really cool. It shoots in like 4K, and I just got like the best auto feature camera because I'm not much of a tech head. So yeah, it's super simple for idiots like me.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Well, yeah, great chatting to you and everything. And I'll let you go and stuff. I think I've got 8 of these today. It's quite long, but yeah, it's good. Good chatting to you, man.
Yeah, cool. Awesome, man. Well, thanks, Mike. Have a good one.
See you in Brisbane.
Yeah, see ya.
Cheers, mate.
Bye.